Hello everyone, today I'm gonna explain you how to start calisthenics. I'm gonna take you from zero to knowing exactly what to do to start this sport. To be honest with you, I know how it feels to go into a new sport blindly, not knowing anything. So now I'm gonna explain you everything I wish I had known when I started. From warm-up to what exercises train each muscle, to a full proper workout calisthenics program. Stay until the end and we are gonna build together a workout program that I'm gonna give you at the end of the video for free. To start with, calisthenics has a lot of different sections. You can do weighted calisthenics, endurance, reps, sets, statics, dynamics. There are a lot of different things that you can choose. But whatever you choose in the long run, the basic movements and the basic fundamentals I'm gonna tell you today are always the same. You always have to start your training with warm-up. Warm-up is absolutely essential for calisthenics, especially for your wrist, shoulders, and all the areas in your body that need flexibility. I always suggest starting your warm-up with an exercise that makes you sweat. You can do jumping jacks, skipping rope, a bit of walking or running, something that makes your blood flow keep on moving. After that, after you feel warmed and you're not cold anymore, you can start doing dynamic stretches. I always prefer starting with dynamic stretches because it keeps my body moving, and not static stretches because they makes my body feel more relaxed. So before the workout, I choose dynamic stretches. Stretches like wrist rotations on the ground. You can use the bands, shoulder rotations, stretch your hamstrings, whatever muscle group you are going to train. The easiest thing that you can probably do is based on what movements you are going to train. You can go to YouTube, type stretches for calisthenics or stretches for push movement or pull movements, which I'm going to explain later in the video, and do them. After my dynamic stretches, I start with my first exercise in my program, but in a very easy progression. If I'm going to do push-ups, I'm gonna do some knee push-ups for 1-2 sets so that I get used to the movement. Try to keep the warm-up rep ranges higher, around 10, 20, or even 30. Now that we talked about the warm-up, which is the first thing we should do, let's explain further down push movements, pull movements, core, and legs. Most people split push movements into vertical and horizontal movements. To keep it easy from the start, push movements train your chest, your triceps, and your shoulders. In your workout, it's always good to contain both vertical and horizontal movements so that you target all the muscle groups. And to start with the exercises, the most common calisthenics or bodyweight exercise is push-up. It's a very good exercise to develop your chest. It also targets your triceps and your shoulders as well. If you can't do push-ups, you can start with knee push-ups. You can progress to the normal ground push-ups. You can move to incline push-ups or decline push-ups. If you want to make them even harder, you can add weight using a resistance band or an old backpack, or even weight if you have access to. You can also use variations of the push-up like slow push-ups, club push-ups, close grip push-ups, wide grip push-ups. There are a lot of different variations based on what you want to train. A simple reference to know, it's always preferable to keep your hands at the width of your shoulders. This will target both chest, triceps, and shoulders. If you close your hands, it will be more tricep dominant. After push-ups, we have dips. It's a harder variation for most people, which trains again the same muscle groups. You can use band to help you do some reps so that you can start learning the dips. And if you already can do dips, you can load them with weight as well, or with resistance band to make them even harder. Make sure to depress your shoulders when you are doing dips and lean forward a bit as well. For the dips, if you stay straight, you will target mostly your triceps, but if you lean forward, you will target mostly your chest. Whatever you choose, it will of course train your shoulders, triceps, and chest, but it changes which is the main muscle in the exercise. I usually prefer to lean a bit forward to train my chest and to be able to do harder variations like weighted with lots of weight, because I'm into street lifting as well. Now that we talked about the two main exercises for the push movements that mainly target your chest, we have to move to our shoulders. Pike push-ups, it's the most common exercise and I think one of the best ones that you can do to train your shoulders. You can start from the ground, have your legs away from you, and as you progress, you can get your legs closer to you or even add them to a chair and then progress to handstand push-ups. This will help you progress to harder skills like 90-degree to handstand push-ups, to planche, and skills that are difficult. And for the triceps, my favorite exercise to completely burn out your triceps and make them huge is skull crushes. You can also use bench dips that are great as well, and they will also help you learn the dips or close grip push-ups like diamond push-up. Now for the push skills, I always recommend people start learning the 90-degree hold. I know there are easier skills that you can learn at the start like the L-sit. You can start training L-sit as well, but 90-degree hold, it's so epic, it looks so great, and when people learn it after a few months they feel so great, and it also opens a lot of new opportunities for skills. You can start learning them with normal push-ups and slowly lowering your hands to your hips. You can do push-ups while having your hands on your hips or holds as well, and after you learn that, you can progress to hard variations like the handstand push-ups, to planche, and all those crazy skills. For the pull movement, there are as well vertical and horizontal pulling exercises. For every pull movement, you are mostly training your back and your biceps. The legend of the pulling is pull-ups. There are a lot of different variations of the pull-ups like wide grip, close grip, chin-ups, neutral grip. There are a lot of different ways you can do them. If you can't do pull-ups, you can start with inverted rows on your desk, or if you have a parallel. And to make inverted rows even easier, you have to keep your legs close to you. To progress, just extend your legs away from your hands. After that, you can progress to pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, or even one-arm pull-up. To learn pull-ups as well as with the Australian pull-ups, I use the inverted rows as well as scapula pull-ups, negative pull-ups, or band assistant pull-ups. A tip that I have for you when you are doing pull-ups is to keep your scapula retracted and your chest out. This will help you train more the back and less your arms and your forearm. Now for your biceps, you can use reverse grip, inverted rows, or chin-ups. And if you have weight or resistance bands, you can use them to do bicep curls as well. And the skill that I have for you for the pull movements that I recommend you start with is the back lever. You can start learning them with your legs closed and tucked and slowly getting to that straight back lever position. After you learn your back lever, you can progress to harder skills like front lever or even front lever pull-ups. And for the core, because calisthenics athletes are known for their abs, there are a lot of different exercises that you can do. I never train directly my abs with crunches and exercises like this to grow them, but I always use exercise for my core that will help me and implement my skill work. I usually split the core movements into two. The one side, which is the side that you have your back on the ground, and the other side that you have your belly on the ground. For the side that you have your back on the ground, your arms on the air and your legs will help you a lot with your skills. You can progress them into dragon flags, and later on this will help you learn your front lever. And for the movements that you have your belly or your chest on the ground, exercises like the plank and then progressing to putting your hands far away in front of you will help you a lot, especially with your 90-degree holds and later in your journey with your planche. This is the kind of exercises I suggest, especially for learning your static skills, and most of them are static holds, but if you want to develop your core, you can do more dynamic ones like crunches. And now for the body part that we take most of our hate as calisthenics athletes, legs. With calisthenics, you can train legs in lots of different ways, and you can get those aesthetic legs with explosiveness and power. Of course, if you want those huge legs like Sibam or Ronnie Coleman, then it's better to add weights. But if you want to stay body weight, we can find exercises for that as well. It's easy to think leg training into two parts: the front part, which is mostly your quads, and the back part, which is your hamstrings and your glutes. And don't forget your calves. For the leg training, you can start with squats, you can progress to pistol squat, to Nordic curls for your hamstrings. You can do Bulgarian split squats. If you are more experienced, you can do sissy squats, and you can train your calves preferably on an elevated surface so that you have the stretch position and the full range of motion, and then you can train them single leg. And now for our favorite part, programming. There are a lot of different programming structures that you can follow. The most common one, which is used in the gym as well, is push pull legs, rest, push pull legs. I personally, when I was doing that, I was skipping one leg day. So I was doing push pull legs, push pull rest, rest. You can also follow upper body, lower body, rest, and again upper body, lower body, or you can do full body training. Whatever programming structure that you choose, it's always better to train each muscle group twice a week. Keep your sets for each muscle group 10 to 20 sets per week. If you are going to train smaller muscle groups, I usually train them less sets, and if I'm going to train bigger muscle groups, I usually train them more sets. For example, if we talk about our chest and our tricep, I can do 4 sets of dips and 3 sets of push-ups, and on the other workout in the same week I can do the same exercises. Is total of 14 sets per week. These 14 sets will mainly focus on chest training, but they will also affect our triceps. And when we train for our triceps, I'm gonna usually stay around 3 sets of skull crushers and 3 sets of bench dips, which is total 12 sets per week. It's less than our chest, but remember, when we are training our chest, we are training our triceps as well. And our chest is also a bigger muscle. Always try to have at least 1 day of rest before you train the same muscle again. So don't train your chest on Monday and on Tuesday. At least train your chest on Monday and Wednesday. And for the rep ranges, I will suggest going from 5 reps to 20 or even 30 reps. But if you are able to do 12 or 16 reps, especially for beginners, it's more safe. After you reach 16 reps of one exercise, or 20 or even 25, it's based on your goals, then you can find a more difficult variation of that exercise. Rest between 1.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes, and remember to keep your movements slow and controlled. It's better to have 1 second eccentric movement and 2 seconds for your concentric movements for better hypertrophy and muscle development. And now for the free workout program that I promised to you, I will give you a workout program of push pull legs and again push pull. As you will see in the workout program that I have in the description, the sets that I have for my legs training, it's more than those that I do for my push and pull movements. It's because I only train my legs once a week. If you have the time, you can split the leg workout into 2 different workouts, but I'm not a huge fan of leg training, so I prefer to have my legs one day and the other day I usually do a form of cardio. This is the end of the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Ciao!